And this is a Mvula leopard listening to my talking. Oh, it's just so amazing when he looks at the camera like that. A little bit more relaxed than he was. You can see the position of the ears. It's an insight into his mind and his emotion and his feelings. Going a little bit, it's either forward, anything forward is positive. Anything flattened and to the back is more of a negative emotion. So the more his ears are forward and the less he frowns, the more relaxed he is. And that little bit of the tongue sticking out is a happy leopard, content. Panting more from being full than being hot. What's with the droopy left eye there, Mvula? I suppose if anything, well, he's probably also getting tired of my talking. With lion and leopard, it's all about energy and using energy to hunt and saving energy to hunt again, and using the meat and the energy that they've taken from their prey to be able to digest it and then have enough energy to hunt again. So yes, while cats do sleep a lot, and I suppose there's some averages that one can draw from their amount of sleeping, that you could say about roughly 20 hours a day or whatever. I still can't emphasize enough that that is a behavioral thing, and there isn't a pattern to it. There isn't a regularity to it. There isn't a set thing that they will do that you can put a clock to, or you could put a figure on, or you could write in a book that what leopards do, because there are so many factors that are involved here. I mean, leopard, I suppose if push came to shove, one could calculate averages just based on statistics. You know, if you studied a single leopard long enough, you could get statistics on the average that it sleeps during the day, and then if you had 100 leopards and you did the same thing with 100 leopards, you would be able, through statistical calculations, make up some sort of figure of average of how often or how much a leopard sleeps during the day. But they're not kind of things that one can, that I like discussing, because what one leopard does doesn't mean to say that all leopards do. In fact, every single leopard is different, and every single leopard has different habits and different ways of doing things, different times that they go hunting, different animals that they hunt, different times that they're sleeping. Every single individual is different, and every individual has different ways of doing things every single day. So where a leopard might sleep 20 hours one day after a kill, on another day it might spend, because of weather and conditions, it might spend 15 hours of the day walking around. I guess what it is I'm loath to give answers, because I don't want people to think that that's what all leopards do. So I don't want to say, yeah, a leopard will sleep 20 hours a day, and that is the sort of given for every leopard in Africa going into India. That's just not the way that nature works. They sleep a lot. They sleep because they have a very high protein meal to digest, and it takes a long time to digest it. They don't have the ruminating stomach, and they're not vegetarians. So from that point of view, there's a lot of time that they need to sleep to digest that kind of a meal that they've eaten. I mean, he's got a full tummy now. But it's not to say that he's going to spend the next 10, 12 or 15 hours sleeping. He's going to spend some of that walking, some of it marking his territory, some of it toileting and preening, and rather grooming, cleaning himself. And if something were to come along, he would maybe go into hunt mode, and then maybe even make a kill, and then even stuff himself further, because he can't pass up an opportunity to hunt. I think one of the reasons why I'm loath to throw figures out there is because I know how the human mind works, and when one says something about an animal, it sort of gets taken that all animals of that species do the same thing. But I can't emphasize more, and I can't make the point hard or reiterate that everything in nature, every creature, every animal, even if we're speaking of all the leopards, every single one of them is different to the other, and they're all going to do different things. And it's very, very hard to draw up averages or to make assumptions. And so I find those kind of questions kind of difficult to answer, because I don't ever want to be seen as the one that gave out false information. And maybe I have in the past, and maybe that's because what I've learned is wrong. So I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I only know a tiny fraction of what there is to know about nature. I'm hoping that in my lifetime I can increase that fraction a little bit to maybe a little bit of a bigger fraction of what I know about things, because it is so vast, and especially when it comes to animal behavior, there isn't a fixed thing that you can ever learn. And every time we watch animals, we're constantly going to be learning new things that we haven't heard of or seen before. So it's a very, very difficult thing to make generalizations, I think it is what I'm trying to say. It's starting to drizzle now, and this rain might get a little bit heavier. And I'm wondering what he's going to do with this drizzle coming in. He might ignore it. Might be quite pleasant for him. But it might also mean that we're going to have to move, because it's starting to come down a bit. This is going to turn into something heavier.